Creamed corn is one of those side dishes that everyone knows, but it's nobody's favorite. So today we're giving it the glow up that it desperately needed. We're making the best creamed corn you've ever had, elote style. It's creamy, it's smoky, and it's a little sweet. We're gonna brighten it up with some lime and some cotija cheese. It's simple, it's fast, and it has so much flavor. You could serve it with a steak or you could put it on your holiday table. For the full ingredient list, check the description box below, but enough talking, let's get cooking. One of the great parts about this recipe is minimal prep. We only gotta prep two things, a shallot and a couple cloves of garlic. So for a shallot, we're gonna cut the bottom and the top off the shallot. And then shallots usually have like two bulbs. This one even has a three kind of situation. So what I like to do is I'll cut the paper or the skin off, and then we'll break it up into its individual pieces, and then we'll handle each one individually. Here we'll just score the skin and peel that off till we expose the nice clean shallot on the inside. So now we're gonna take our knife, we're gonna put a couple horizontal cuts in the shallot, a couple vertical ones, and then we're gonna chop down. And I want the shallot to be very finely chopped so that it melts into the food. And you don't even see like any pieces of it as it softens up. We'll even take our knife and we'll chop through a little bit just to make sure that it's all really fine, and just aiming for any like the big pieces that, especially towards the end of the shallot. The one thing that really sticks out about shallots versus onions is they are the #1 eye tearer. I don't know if it's this or red onions that's worse, but wow, this little shallot got me going. So now let's take a couple cloves of garlic and also put a fine mince on them. And we want to do the same thing that we did with the shallot. We want to cut this so finely that when it cooks down, it like melts into the creamed corn and you don't even really notice it as a component. One of the biggest problems I see with a lot of people's home cooking is they don't cut stuff finely enough. And a lot of times it's just like taking like a few more times to like pass through this, because I'm gonna keep just passing over this over and over and over again until I get that fine mince. I mean, we could use a garlic press, we could use the microplane, but mincing it here works, but you just gotta really take your time. We're gonna go with frozen corn for this recipe. You could use canned corn too. I just think the frozen stuff's a little bit better. It's a little sweeter and it just packages a little bit better than the canned stuff. So let's head over to the stove and start to get this going. So I got a pan hot over a medium-high heat. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil and I'm gonna throw in about half the corn. So I wanna throw in half the corn because that's gonna give this an opportunity to char a little bit without overwhelming the pan. So I'll put about half of it in and we'll wait for the other half. And here I'm just gonna spread it out in the pan and I'm gonna let it sit so we get a little bit of blisters and we get a little bit of caramelization on the corn. That's gonna give it a really nice sweet flavor that's gonna contrast the rest of the flavors that are gonna go inside this amazing side dish. And here, to make sure that you're getting the caramelization, just let it sit. You don't have to stir it. Leave it there for like 2-3 minutes. And after 2-3 minutes, if the heat's right, you're gonna see like nice like charring on the other side of this corn. So after about 2 minutes, you can see we got like a little bit of color on a couple of these kernels that we checked. I'm gonna let that go just another minute. You know from a smell perspective that it's starting to caramelize when it starts to almost smell like burnt popcorn. You can even see some of the kernels starting to like pop here. I'm gonna give this a little light mix and then I'm just gonna spread it out again, because once you add all the rest of the ingredients, you can't get back that caramelization step. And that's just a wonderful flavor to this dish that you gotta take the time and do the technique right. And so once the corn's jumping out of the pan, you probably don't wanna go any further. We got nice color on a lot of these kernels. Now I'm gonna take the rest of the corn, throw it in, we'll mix it up together and we'll cook for another like 2 minutes until the corn is thawed out and started to cook. Canned corn here, this whole process will probably just go just a little faster. So keep that in mind if you're going canned and not frozen. And if at any time the pan is starting to look a little dry, just add a little bit of oil. So now after a couple of minutes, I'm gonna turn the heat down to a medium heat. I'm gonna add my shallots, stir those in and let them cook for a little bit. Give those a minute or two to soften up. And now we're gonna add our garlic. Remember, garlic does not need to cook long. You don't wanna burn it. You just wanna give it just maybe like 30 seconds, maybe a minute in the pan, just to start to release its flavor. Once you can start to smell the garlic cook, that's probably about far enough, because the next step after smelling garlic is garlic's getting burned. Now we're gonna add some butter. And I'll keep moving this butter around until it softens up and melts into this wonderful corn, garlic, and shallot mixture. So now we're gonna add our smoked paprika, some chili powder, and a pinch or two of salt. You wanna throw these spices in there because that's gonna give the spices opportunities to bloom, and that's just gonna really like enhance their flavor, mellow them out, spread them out, and also have them get along with everything else that's inside the pan. Let those spices toast and bloom for a little bit. We're gonna cook this for another minute or two before we add any more ingredients. Now for sweetness, we're gonna add a little bit of honey and about a cup of half and half. So now we're gonna let this cook for a few minutes and let some of the liquid from the half and half reduce. So while that's reducing a little bit, I'm just gonna take a splash of this half and half and I'm gonna make a little cornstarch slurry. I'm gonna use this to help thicken up the sauce. And I got about a tablespoon of cornstarch, and I just put just enough liquid that we can dissolve the cornstarch in there. And a good indication that this is reducing enough is if you drag your spatula through the liquid shouldn't pool instantly. Could probably let this go another minute, but I probably wouldn't take it much further than that. So you can see that's holding just a little bit longer before it pools back to the center. It's probably a good time to add our cornstarch slurry. So now I'm gonna mix that in, and that'll help thicken this sauce up. So now I'm gonna take a couple ounces of this cream cheese and throw it in there. This is gonna give it a nice, smooth, velvety texture. And the cream cheese is a little solid, so we're gonna use a whisk to try to mix it in there. And then while the cream cheese is chunky, if it gets caught in the whisk, just get it out of there. And once it's incorporated, we'll go back to our wooden spoon to help mix this all. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reduce the heat to low, and I'm gonna take a couple of spoonfuls of the mixture, and I'm gonna add it to a jar. I'm gonna add a little splash of the half and half. And now we're gonna take our immersion blender and we're gonna blend this up. You can do this inside of a regular blender. I just find this is just a little bit faster than taking out the whole blender. If you notice it's a little thick, just add a little bit of the half and half until you get that nice creamy texture. And now we're gonna add the blended corn mixture back into there and give this a mix. So now I'm gonna throw in a little lime zest. This is really gonna brighten up this dish. And now we'll take that lime and we'll squeeze it right in there. So now I'm gonna take some of this crumbled cotija cheese and we'll put a spoonful or two of that in there. So now let's chop up a little cilantro for some garnish. So I'm just gonna peel a couple of leaves off of this cilantro. And we'll give this a chop. And when you're chopping garnishes, please make sure to, again, just like the shallots and the garlic, take your time and get it fine. There's nothing worse than making like a beautiful dish and then someone just put like chunky garnish that looks like this. Like this needs to get passed through like 5 more times before you could even call it a garnish. It just looks like that you were sloppy and lazy. And now this is what garnish should look like. Nice, fine, no big leaves. So now let's take our creamed corn mixture and we're gonna add it to our serving platter. I'm gonna give it just a little light sprinkle of the cotija cheese. And now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna throw this in the broiler for just a minute or two so I can get a little bit more color on the top. This step is kind of optional if you wanna do it or not, or if your dish is oven safe, but I like to do this because it just, again, adds another layer of flavor, and that caramelization on top really looks nice. That looks spectacular. See how we got these like nice little dark color on the outside? It looks very finished. Now, a little bit more cheese, just as a garnish. A little sprinkle of some tahini for that real elote flavor. A little bit of lime zest. Smells so good, especially once you start adding like the lime. And a little sprinkle of the cilantro. We're just gonna add one more thing. We're gonna add a little slice of lime. And when you're slicing lime for garnish, whether this is going on a drink or food, don't cut the lime this way. Cut the lime in half, then put the lime down and then cut your wedges. That's when you get the nice, pretty lime with all the little like pizza sections. And now we'll add the lime on the outside. And now how amazing does this elote style cream corn look? I am so excited to try it. This looks absolutely fantastic. It smells so good. And this is gonna sound a little weird, but it smells like Doritos, and not in a bad way. So let's take a nice big scoop of this. And now look how amazing this looks. This is not the cream corn that you get out of a can. And for a little pop of flavor, we're gonna take that lime wedge, squeeze some lime juice on top. This is gonna be an epic bite. This is the most fantastic cream corn that I've ever had. It is so good. And it does have this like gourmet, like Dorito kind of flavor. And that is a compliment in every way. You could serve me this just all by itself and I would eat it. It is so fantastic because cream corn is kind of seen as like a secondary kind of lower tier side dish, but not this one. Oh my God, this is so good. This is the makeover that cream corn needed. The corn, the cheese, the creaminess, the little lime juice that we put on there, it really just makes the flavors pop. It just like goes on and on and on. The texture's wonderful. The flavors are insane. And it takes something that's generally considered pretty plain. Cream corn is kind of like a plain kind of side dish, but not this. This is really, really, really good. There's 3 reallys. And the only thing that's gonna suck after making this is gonna steal the thunder from whatever the main dish is, because this was so fantastic. Wow, my mind is totally blown and I am completely rethinking cream corn and I am loving it. It's moving up my top tier side dishes. I'll definitely make this for Christmas, maybe a nice steak night at home. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, drop me a comment, let me know what you thought about the video. If you do make the recipe, let me know how it came out. And if you're into elevated side dishes, check out my steakhouse style cream spinach. That is a really awesome recipe that rivals this for best side dish. I will see you there. Thanks.